Mojo isn't that good, but because of Jean Grey, I gotta put him in A tier. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. What's up, y'all, man? We're back. Part 2. Not gonna waste any of your time. Let's get right into it. Alright, so we're gonna start off with Baron Mido. This card, I'm not gonna lie, even when I face off against like Darkhawk decks, right? Or like a Ronin deck, this card literally never does anything to negatively affect me, although it's supposed to. I've had no success with this card at all. I would never use it, and you shouldn't either. So let's get to the next card. Angela. I don't even need to say anything about Angela, right? Black Widow. You run her on that same like Darkhawk style of deck, right? That Darkhawk, either Darkhawk or Ronin. She's a little bit more annoying, and I feel like she actually can harm you, because she literally just stops you from doing like pulling any more cards, whereas Baron, he just makes one cost more, but like I don't know, for some reason he's just horrible, and she's not. I mean, she's either C or D. I'll put her in D for now. I might move her though. Armor, another S tier. When I look at 2, there's a lot of really good cards. Armor, man, you could put Armor on any team and get a lot of mileage. Like, it's just a no-nonsense card. Like, we know Destroy is one of the strongest decks right now. You literally just shut down Destroy decks. You prevent yourself from losing any cards from I don't really know how to say his name right. Shang-Chi, it's like Sun-Chi or something like that. Like, it counters him. So you get to play all your expensive, real powerful cards on your side without having to worry. It protects cards like Atuma, stuff like that, man. Armor is just excellent. You can put Armor on any team, stops Killmonger. Like, it's just a really good card, man. I have anything bad to say about Armor, really. So let's go to Bucky next. Bucky, Bucky is not bad at all, right? I want to put Bucky in B. He's either A or B. Just looking at all the 2-cost cards, once you destroy them and turn them into the Winter Soldier, he's like the strongest 2-cost, right? With 2/6. Actually, I'm putting him in A. On top of that, Destroy is like a really good style right now. So yeah, he's definitely a solid card. You just have to destroy him, which I guess prevents him from being S tier, in my opinion. Colossus. I feel like Colossus is the definition of like a middle of the road card, right? He's either B or C. I put him in B for right now. Pretty solid. Like, he can't be moved or destroyed. I mean, he's just not that powerful though. But 2/3 is alright. But I mean, I feel like you should just run Armor over him whenever you get the chance, really, unless you're doing like some destroyer type deck, right? And then Dagger. I'll put Dagger in C. Reason for that, move isn't really that good of an archetype, although it is getting better. And on top of that, I feel like Kraven is better than Dagger, and it's a bit more difficult to pull her off because you don't really have control over where your opponent puts their cards, and you have to do a lot of setup to really boost her power, right? So I'm gonna put her in C rank, but she's definitely not. I might move Black Widow up. I'm put her in C as well, honestly. So next we got Falcon. Let's put him at the top of B. One cool thing about Falcon, right? You can remove like that -2 ninja. Like we know you can like put your own cards back into your hand, but you can also remove the little raptors, the little ninjas, right? And it's pretty solid, really good on the collector style deck, the Devil Dinosaur style decks, right? Same thing with Cable. I'm put him in B. Actually, I'm put him in A for the reason of he can really mess up your opponent, right? Although you don't know which card you're taking from them, it can really be detrimental just to steal your opponent's card, even though you may not be able to use it, right? So I'm putting him in A rank. Carnage, he's either A or S, honestly. Yeah, Carnage is S. Carnage is definitely S. 2 and 8, that's the highest out of any 2-cost card. He has the potential to be the most powerful out of any 2-cost card. Gets rid of rocks, gets rid of ninjas, raptors. It's just too good, right? Enables like Phoenix Force and stuff like that. It's just a really good card, man. Any destroy deck, which is one of the best archetypes in the game, is you're really doing yourself a disservice not to run Carnage. It's just a really solid, really pristine card in my opinion. Cloak, I'm actually put Cloak in A. The reason for that is while Move isn't the best archetype, 2 and 4 is really good. And while your opponent can use Cloak to their advantage, I feel like you can also pull off a lot of really like tricky setups with Cloak, right? One that you may not even think of. You could run Kingpin on your team, play Cloak on turn 5 at the same spot as Kingpin, then move something like Nova to where Kingpin is, and you can do a lot with Cloak, honestly. Let's say you're running Lizard, which is another 2-cost. They filled up the lane. You put Cloak over there so you can move your Lizard. Yeah, it's just a really versatile card. It's just not really meta defining like these other 3 S ranks. So I'm gonna just put them in A though. Colleen Wing, another 2/4. She's really good. Especially on discard decks, right? I'm gonna put her in B for right now. She might even be A. I just feel like even though she gets rid of one of your cards, you really only want to use her on discard, so there's really no drawback in that sense. And 2/4 is just really strong. Like we look at all these other ones, most of them are 2/2. While she has a whole extra 2 power, which is really good. So I'm putting her in A. She's just not as good as these at the top, obviously. Daredevil, definitely S, right? Daredevil might be I don't know if I want to say this, but Daredevil might be the best the best 2-cost card in the game, right? He definitely has. You could definitely make the argument for it. You could do all your Professor X shenanigans, right? You could use Juggernaut to move them on turn 5. He enables every Guardian of the Galaxy card. It's just really solid. Like in a game of knowledge, when you actually know what your opponent is doing, it's just, I feel like there's nothing better than that. On top of that, he's 2/2. Whereas I feel like he would be something like 2/1 or even 2/0, but yeah, Daredevil is he's just too good, right? Domino. I want to put Domino. I'm putting her in C. She's good at like deck thinning and stuff like that, but she's essentially like Shocker. Like, even though you draw on turn 2, she doesn't really do anything else for you. But that 3 power is pretty much what's keeping her from either being a D or F rank card, right? Forge, I want to say Forge is D. I've honestly never played anybody who used Forge I'm lying. I've never played anybody who used Forge that it actually made the difference for them, right? When you look at Forge, you're honestly better off running, even though they're not 2-cost cards themselves, you're better off running like Ironheart, you're better off running Shuri, right? He's really a waste of slot considering all these other 2-cost cards that are just way better than him. On top of that, some of them have 2 or even 3 more power to him, way more potential of power than he does. And yeah, Forge is really just not that good, but I do think he's better than Baron, and he definitely deserves to be in a higher spot than Baron does. Up next, we got Goose. Goose is very irritating, right? Goose is very irritating. Goose enables Cerebro, right? Cerebro decks are very good. I'm gonna put Goose at the top of A. Because it can also hinder you if you're not running Goose on like a Cerebro type of deck. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on Goose. I'm not gonna spend too much time. Craven, I'm just put Craven just higher than Dagger. They essentially do the same thing, except Craven, you actually have control. You have more control because it's based off of your own cards, whereas Dagger is the opponent. And that's pretty much what separates those two. Lizard is definitely an A-rank card. The naturally strongest card without any like destroying or adjustments and stuff like that. On top of that, Lizard enables Enchantress, which stopping ongoing abilities is like really huge, right? So on top of having a high power, you enable another really good solid card. So I gotta put Lizard in like A. Alright. I just don't think it's like as broken as these 4 up top. Mariah Hill. I get Mariah Hill and what's her name? I get her and Quake confused. I'm pretty sure she is the one who you draw another card with. Which is alright, right? She's either C or D, honestly. I feel like yeah, she's not that good in my opinion. I know y'all looked at the last video, you like, wait, but you just had Agent 13 and A rank, now you're gonna put her in C. Well, it's a different level of cards, right? Like, on top of that, I would just use Sentinel over Mariah Hill every time, right? So I'm putting her in C. She's not as bad as these two for sure, though. Master Mode is really good. If you're not running a collector style, devil dinosaur style deck, having 2 sentinels in your hand can get pretty annoying. But that 2 and 3 power sentinel is also kind of good for your opponent. I feel like Master Mode and Goose are similar in the sense to where they kind of stop your opponent from doing what they want to do, but they can also benefit them at the same time, if that makes sense. But they're also really good in their own respective decks, right? If you're running that Ronin deck, that Darkhawk type of deck, Master Mode is really good. And those 2 styles are also like very, very pretty good styles, right? Pretty good styles of decks to run. Up next, we got Medusa. Another mid card. I would put her at the top of C or like at the end of B because they buffed her. Like 2-5 in the middle. It's pretty good. On top of that, you could put her on like an Odin team. You get her to 2-8. I'm putting her at the end of B. Medusa's pretty solid. I feel like she's really underused. Yeah, that's all I got to say on her. Mojo. Mojo isn't that good, but because it's Jean Grey, I gotta put him in A tier. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. Mr. Sinister. Put him in B. Really good on that Patriot deck. Supports Ant-Man really well, Mojo really well. Pretty much 2-4. Only reason why he's not higher is because I feel like oh yeah, the Cerebro 2 deck as well, he's pretty good on. Only reason why he's not higher is if you want to use him outside of any of those decks, he's taking up too much space, I feel like. Sometimes you want to reserve the extra 3 spots in your lane for a much more powerful card. And he's really good in like early collection level when you don't have that many cards, but he's not as good as any of these up here in my opinion. Luke Cage, that's the other S rank. This is the reason why I said Daredevil might be the best, because Luke Cage, I feel like him and Luke Cage are like the top 2, and then Angela is definitely third. As y'all know, they buffed him to, it's either 2-2. I'm pretty sure it's 2-2. It might be 2-3. I forget off the top of my head. But it's just because of his ability, like being able to pull off that like hazmat where you like take 14 points away from your opponent when you do the Wong Mystique. Like, he's insane, man. Luke Cage is really good. You actually can make use of Typhoid Mary when you're running Luke Cage. You can make use of or you can protect yourself from literally Spider-Woman, the whole high evolutionary archetype. He's just really good, man. Luke Cage is a phenomenal card. Morbius. I'm gonna put Morbius in. He's definitely A rank. Morbius is definitely A rank. 2-8. I believe I said was the strongest, but sometimes you can discard like 6 cards in the game and you got a 2-12 Morbius, right? On top of that, you might get that ongoing effects or double location. And the only reason why he's not S is because this card is like it's kind of a inconsistent style, right? If you don't have like the Invisible Woman MODOK, this card, you're gonna have a really hard time pulling Morbius off to his best potential. And even if you do, right, they might put Cosmo in that lane because that deck is so easy to counter, or they might do something like it's not Viper, what's her name? The girl who steals your ability, they might use her on your Invisible Woman, and then your discard deck is ruined. But no, Morbius is pretty good though. He's definitely A rank. Up next, we got Multiple Man. I'm gonna put him at the top. He's kind of like Mr. Sinister, but better because you can use him with like Phoenix Force. Obviously, you could use him with move style decks, and yeah, it's just a really cool card, right? Really good card. The only reason he's not higher is because move isn't that strong, but they are buffing it, as y'all know. So Mysterio. Mysterio is a really good synergy with Bast, with Bishop, Patriot. He might be S. Nah, Mysterio's S. Just a really good card, man. Throws your opponent off 2-4 with the potential to be even stronger. You can run Bast, get 9 power out of a 2 card. That's insane, bro. Mysterio's clean. Psylocke, she's either A or S as well, honestly. I'm gonna put her at the top of A. She enables a lot. The only reason I feel like she might not be S is because 2-1 is pretty weak, right? 2-1 is pretty weak. Scarlet Witch, I would put her higher than... Actually, I'm gonna put her the top of B right now. Reason for that is because everybody's using that Storm Legion style right now. But outside of that, whenever they nerf that, she's probably gonna drop, because I don't know how many times I use Scarlet Witch to change the location and end up losing the game because of it, man. It's just crazy with this card. It's not consistent. It can never be an A or S rank card because you don't know what's gonna happen, right? In the game of knowledge, you don't know what's gonna happen. She might even be C, but right now she's B until they nerf that other strategy or whatever. Okoye. I'm gonna put her above Scarlet Witch. Her ability is really good, alright? I don't need to say much about that. Invisible Woman, she's definitely S though. Invisible Woman is S. You could hide Ebony Maw behind her. Obviously use her with that Modok Discard style deck. You could hide your ongoing cards from getting Enchantress. Did I just lie? She might, and on top of that, they buffed her to 2/3. Invisible Woman might be. These four are phenomenal. These three are definitely the top three. These three are definitely the top three. For sure, these are the top three. Quake. Shocker, without any abilities, is better than these two cards. Because Patriot is a better style than that Ronin deck. But Evolved Shocker, I want to put him in A. He's similar to Psylocke by giving one of your guys like -1 cost. And that's huge, right? So that's huge. Only downfall to that is you have to run High Evolutionary. You can't use that on any other style of team. And yeah, that's just pretty good card when he's evolved. Without the evolution, he's probably like D rank, to be honest. Sentinel. I touched on Sentinel when I was talking about a few other cards. Obviously really good with the Collector Devil Dino style of team. Yeah, we're just gonna put him in B rank though. He could be annoying to you, but he's definitely better than all of these cards down here, right? Star-Lord. As much as I personally like Star-Lord, I would put him in C, top of C. You do that mental damage to your opponent when you pull off that little got him. But other than that, man, I don't know. Star-Lord, he just has, obviously 2/5 is really good, but you have to play him in the correct spot. And people play silly in this game, man. You can't, sometimes, no matter how much you play, you just can't predict. No matter how many decks you come across, you just can't. People are just random, man. I don't know what to say, bro. People don't. I feel like people play this game crazy, bro. Hazmat. We're gonna put Hazmat. She's not that good. You have to. I mean, you can run Luke Cage. You need so much setup to pull off Hazmat, which is the reason why she's not. And if your opponent has Luke Cage, like, it's a useless card. You're better off running any other card. But she's still better than these three down here. Scorpion, that's the top of the A. Scorpion is so annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I face like somebody using like a Iceman plus Scorpion, that just pisses me off, bro. Like, it just makes you want to forfeit sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Scorpion is the top of A, man. The top of A for sure. Obviously, he's useless if you have Luke Cage, but he could be a really irritating card, man. Can just that -1 to your deck is just, It just makes you upset, man. I don't know what to say about Scorpion, man. Swarm. I don't like Swarm at all. This might be a hot take, but I feel like even on the discard deck, Swarm is just really bad, man. Even though you get those free 3 power cards, like, I feel like you don't want Swarm to, like, be taking up your whole hand, man. Like, Swarm is just so... I'm gonna move Mariah Hill down here. I'm not gonna disrespect them like that, but Swarm is not that good in my opinion. I'm gonna be honest. Move Black Widow up a little bit too. Swarm, yeah. I'm not a fan of Swarm at all. I can't lie to y'all. Viper. Viper is S for sure, man. She's like Enchantress, but you get the benefits of the ongoing, right? If somebody's running like that Luke Cage hazmat style team, bro, this fly is pissing me off. If somebody's running that Luke Cage style team, right? You take the Viper. They probably running hazmat to like take all your points away. Now they just lost the game, right? Like Viper is insane. I'm not even, bro. I'm talking about Rogue. My fault. Viper. Bro, they look the same to me. I can't even lie. Viper, though, I feel like she's only good with, like, Sentry, bro. I feel like she's only good with, like, Sentry and the Hood. But she's not bad, man. She's somewhere around, like, B rank. Somewhere around there. Mr. Jeff. He's like, he might be ass, bro. We gonna put Jeff up there, y'all. We love Jeff, man. We love Jeff. Wolverine, top of A. You already know. Silk. Nobody uses Silk, and 2-5 is really good. But I'm gonna put Silk in C rank because you don't want your cards moving around. I mean, if you're running a move deck with like Craven, yeah, you want that. But y'all, you already know, as soon as you run a move deck, you get that location that says whenever a card moves here, destroy it. Y'all know how this game works, man. I can't put Silk in any higher tier than C. Like, it's just that randomness aspect, kind of like Scarlet Witch. But like I said, Scarlet Witch is only good right now because of that Legion style. All right, so what we got next? Spider-Ham. I know it says 1-1 on here. They changed them. Spider-Ham is ridiculous. Spider-Ham is very cheap. I don't like people who use Spider-Ham, man. If you use Spider-Ham against me, I'm not a fan of you, okay, man? I don't like you. Alright? That's all I'm gonna say on Spider-Ham. Adam Warlock is trash. Adam Warlock sucks. Do not use Adam Warlock. I know you think you're cool running like that setup where you get that +1 card. I don't know, bro. I mean, I don't care, man. Adam Warlock is not good. You have to do too much to get him to work. Just don't use him, period. Zabu, on the other hand, is another S-rank card. I lied when I said Angela was top 4 because Zabu is definitely top 4 with these 4. Spider-Ham might be better than Angela. Am I humble? So is Armor, low-key. My humble, yeah, Zabu. It's just cheap, bro. Like, you just get so many cheap strats off with Zabu. Like, I don't even want to talk about him, but he's cool though. Zabu is pretty solid. And last we got Collector. Collector, y'all know they buffed him to 2-2. The thing about Collector is I feel like him being 2 cost is bad because you want to get him out as soon as possible so that you can run whatever deck you draw your cards with, right? But collector is really good because you can get a lot of power from them. You're just kind of forced to run a predictable archetype whenever you use collector, if that makes sense. I'm actually move Adam Warlock up. I think Quake is the worst, honestly. And yeah, that's gonna be it, y'all. 2 cost cards tier list. Appreciate everybody who watched, man. I got my first sub on this channel, so shout outs to you. If you're watching this video, please comment, man, or girl, or whatever, man. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, we're gonna keep up these tier lists, man. We got the 3 costs, then the 4, 5, 6. You already know. Got them coming up next. Y'all leave likes, comment, sub. I'm gonna start doing a variety of different content, but we gonna see what sticks, man. We're gonna see what works. And yeah, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all next video.